That's alright though. Yeah. Rain, captivate your mind. Captivate your mind. Captivate your mind, let the soul come alive. It's that DMT music, make you visualize. Cast away your fears, let the spirits heat the stars. I couldn't quite remember why I wrote these bars, but I really like this beat. It made me see afar, it had me challenging my inner creative spark. So captivate my mind, cause I've made it hella far. Ready to slow me down, cause I'm coming for it all. So captivate my mind, let my soul come alive. It's that DMT music, make you visualize.
Good evening. I'm here today to host this podcast on behalf of Miss Candy Rain. It's the Mad, Bad or Misunderstood. Where we're going with that, we believe that a lot of people get called mad or they get called bad when simply they're misunderstood, but people don't get to know them to find out about that. They're just quick to judge. So I'm here to host this now. So I'm going to introduce you to Miss Candy Rain. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you, Darryl, for doing this for me today. I really appreciate it. It is the first episode. You know, we're going to be focusing on my story tonight.
We're going to go through a lot of subjects. Some of them are going to be heartbreaking, some of them are going to be touching. I suppose some of them are going to be funny. We're going to see smiles, we might see tears, we might see laughter, we might see low moods. Can I just say thank you to the Naya Moss Centre, this beautiful centre,
Yes.
which is available to rent for theatre studies, community groups and so on. Such a wonderful building.
Beautiful.
Is there anybody you would like to shout out, Lauren?
So firstly, I'd like to light a candle on behalf. We lost someone yesterday, literally. Someone that I've grown up with in the Hume community, Lauren. So we're just going to light a candle for her tonight in memory. We're also going to light a candle on behalf of your mum. And also we're going to light a candle on behalf of my mum.
And can we light a candle for all the victims of youth violence and knife crime as well, which is close to my heart.
And we'll light another candle for everyone else that has lost their lives, that we know. Ah, shit.
So let's get started.
Woo!
Can you tell me your full name?
So my name is Candice Bryan.
And where do you originate from?
I was born in Manchester, Old Trafford.
Where do your parents originate from?
So my dad, Jamaican, Red Hills, and my mum, Wivenshaw.
Wivenshaw, massive. Can you tell me a little bit about you growing up? You got brothers and sisters?
So yeah, I've got one brother. It's just me and him. Growing up, we had a nice household. We had my mum and dad. They were together. We didn't really need for anything. I'm not saying we was them designer babies, but we had practically everything that we needed when we was younger.
Are you younger than your brother?
Yeah.
Or are you?
3 years younger than my brother. I'm the baby.
What did you go to nursery, primary school, secondary?
So I went nursery, primary school, Kings Road, Gauls Hill, went a few schools, then secondaries, Lostock, left Lostock, I went Wally Range. No, actually, I went Ellen Wilkinson. Do you remember Ellen Wilkinson?
Yeah, I remember when it was called Nichols Hardwick, before Ellen Wilkinson.
And not a lot of people remember Ellen Wilkinson because it changed, but yeah, I'm showing my age. but Ellen Wilkinson, and then Wally Range.
Wally Range. Can you tell me about any family members close, like cousins, blood-related cousins, like, you know, being from the black community, everyone's our cousin.
Everyone's our
cousin. If our mum
cousin.
and dad knew people, we class each of them, we grow up as cousins, even though a lot of them are real blood cousins. Can you tell me anything about who you was close to growing up, if there was any rivalry with your cousins or any incidents, so to speak?
So growing up, you know, I'm a Brian. There's 2 sets of Brians
from Old Trafford.
From Old Trafford.
Very well known.
Yeah, very well known. So there's 2 sets of Brians, and I'm one of them. And my cousins are, like, I've got, you know. Can I mention names? Can I mention my cousins' names? Is that all right?
Yeah, you can, but I'd rather you didn't.
Right, so, you know, I never had any rivalry with my cousins, but we was all close up until a certain age. We used to go to, what was it called now, the summer when you used to have summer club?
Summer camp.
Play scheme.
Play scheme.
At the church of God of Prophecy. So that was our church. And we had a lot of play schemes in there over the summers. So that's where I used to spend time with my family, my cousins from Moss Side, Great Western Street, you know, Rep Park. That's my memory. That's my memory of when we were younger.
Going back to the beginning, when you was young, myself seen a lot of domestic violence. I had a lot of trauma in my younger days. A lot of things happened between me and my family. Is there any, when I say family, I mean siblings, brothers, cousins, and so on. Is there anything that brings back traumatic memories to you?
Yeah, and so this is even the first time I've ever had this conversation for everyone to
I'm
hear.
sorry if I'm bringing pain.
No.
We need to.
Yeah, we need to get this out, and this is what we're here for, isn't it? So, you know. So I have a memory of, you know, it used to be the weekend, and I'd get dropped off to my grandma's on a Saturday, and we'd go there, me and my brother. Sometimes it would just be me on my own. You know, I'd go there, have one of my girl cousins braid my hair. You know, my grandma used to cook us dinner. I weren't allowed to leave the table until everything was ate, I was always the last one. She was strict. She was a proper Jamaican grandma. You know what I mean? And so I'd go there at the weekend. And yeah, I feel like this is when the trauma started. But I think with what's happened with me is I've learnt to block a lot of it out. But anywho, so my first memories of my trauma, I remember being at my grandma's, being downstairs, getting my hair done, and then it'd come to bedtime, and we'd all kind of get in my grandma's bed, and i.e. my male cousin and the girls, and we'd all get in the same bed, either watch TV, movies or whatnot, and then they would go to bed, and I'd be left in my grand's bed with my cousin, who used to touch me.
Was that a male cousin?
Yeah.
And did you ever tell anybody about this?
Nah.
Why didn't you tell anybody? Did you feel scared, or do you feel like you wouldn't be believed? Or did you think this kind of stuff that happens in life?
Yeah, I didn't know no better.
So you thought it was acceptable?
I thought that was normal. But then as you kind of grow older, you get a bit of shame. So, and feeling like it was my fault, or I must have done something for that to happen.
Can I just interrupt you? Let's just point this out. There's no shame in it, there's no guilt, and nobody deserves that to happen. So don't take ownership of that. you know, what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right, and that was definitely wrong. And I'm sorry for making you relive that bit, but if we're going to be honest, we need to go through some dark moments, low moments, painful moments, good memories.
Definitely.
So can you tell me when that started and when it stopped?
So I'd say that started when I was about 8.
And how long did this continue for?
Till I was about... So I'd say about 10, till I got to the point where I didn't have to go to my grandma's.
So it only stopped because you refused to go to your grandma's?
Yeah.
So that means...
And I started rebelling in life.
That person put you in a position where you couldn't feel safe going to your grandma's or going to visit your grandma because you thought that might happen.
Ooh.
That was really wrong.
It was horrible.
And can I just point out to anybody that's gone through this, there'll be a list of numbers or organisations that might be able to help you get through this. Do not suffer in silence. Do not suffer in shame. It's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to talk. Speak up, speak out, because people like this get away with things time and time again. And I'm the first to say, you need to expose these. You need to expose these people that are doing wrong to young kids, because when things happen to the kids, they take it into adulthood, and it affects relationships, it affects jobs, it affects life, it affects moods and so on. So can you tell me a bit more about your happier times, your family life, like mum, dad, brother or sister?
So, yeah, so it's mad because I can't even say happier times. So from then I kind of rebelled. I just started to so you know how some people can go into themselves. I was always confident and a bit out there and loud. That was me. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I started finding, you know, I lost my virginity when I was friggin' 12. I was 12. I've got a 12-year-old now. What even, like, do you know what I mean? So I don't even know about happier times. I just kind of got through life. I just cracked on. It weren't really happier. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but in the home, was it happy when you was in the home?
Yeah.
Was you a mummy's girl or was you a daddy's girl?
I was a daddy's girl. My brother was a mummy's girl, mummy's boy. But
so
yeah.
What kind of stuff did you do with your mum? Did you do makeup and nails and pampers sessions?
So this was the kid I was until I started rebelling. I was that child that used to sit down and read books. I was that child that used to be in a room doing dance routines and in the mirror. I was that girl, do you know what I mean? Like, I used to sing and pretend that I was performing on the cat rug, and do you know what I mean? Performing to an audience. They were my good times, me being by myself. Do you know what I mean? I used to go cinema. My mum used to drop me off to the cinema and pick me up. Swimming, everything. I was all right on my own. Then I come out of my shell a bit. Like I said, started getting interested in boys and wanted to push things further, and because I didn't have that knowledge or guidance, or was aware of myself. Do you think
that might have been a self-esteem issue, a self-respect issue?
Yeah, definitely.
You just wanted to be a bigger woman.
Yeah.
You thought you knew about what happens, the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
And how the
and I didn't know nothing. I thought I knew about it. I thought all the sneaking around and letting people touch you and not saying nothing about it, I thought that was all normal.
So if you could go back to then, what would you do? Would you speak up about what was happening?
Yeah. But this is why, you know, because now I've read up on it. Basically, I was groomed. I was groomed as a young girl, and you know, if you don't know no better, if you don't know no better, then what? Like, where do you go with that?
But that's what we're doing today will raise awareness.
100%.
There's no doubt that it'll get out there. If one person watches this, which I know that a lot more than one person can watch, well, you might save someone's life, you might save them, might make them open up, might make them talk about their childhood, might even make a non-paedophile wrong and go to jail.
Definitely, and that's what we're here for.
And not only that, you might save someone from suicide, and you might help someone with mental health.
Yeah, all of that, being open, talking about things, not being shameful about it. It's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing at all. I felt shame for years, just not being able to speak about things, being misunderstood. People are thinking I'm mad.
Or bad. But
do you know what I mean?
Just simply misunderstood.
Simply just, I didn't have, you know what I mean?
This is the perfect name for this podcast, and hopefully we'll go on from here.
Definitely.
Yourself hosting it, maybe another interview, because I know a lot more about your life than we will go through today.
100%.
But seeing you and meeting you when I met you, I think everything happens for a reason, and I believe we can't dwell on the past. We can learn from that bad. Because I, you know, myself, I use lived experience to try and make a positive. And the work that we've been doing together the last few weeks in youth clubs and schools, I believe that them bad things are going to help others.
100%.
And they're going to help others
grow.
Others come out of themselves. Others come out and speak up. And hopefully, those people that have been affected like you will see justice done for that.
Definitely. And I also want to bring awareness to like parents and stuff, like be aware if your child starts like, you know, not wanting anyone to come around them when they get in you know what I mean? Like, you've got to be aware, like, in changed behaviour. It could go one way or the other. They could, like I said, people go into themselves, or people can act crazy and act out of character. You've got to be aware of these things, and don't just leave your kids with anyone. That's even family. You've got to be careful who you're leaving your children with, and this is why I'm saying these things lead to adulthood. My son can't go with anyone except his granddad. I'm funny. Not even, you know what I mean? Not even my brother. Do you know what I mean? And that's because of the shit and the trauma that I've lived, and I'm scared for my child in this world that we live in. It's scary.
Can I just point something out? This kind of stuff doesn't just happen to girls. As you can see, Candice just says her son can't go nowhere. I know boys that have been affected by paedophilia, by wrongings, by that. So if you're a boy, there's no shame in it. As men, we think about this thing called pride, and not saying pride kills. That's where a lot of men go into their pride and end up not being able to speak about it, and end up harming themselves and committing suicide.
Mental health.
So boys, girls, please speak up if you're going through anything like this. Can I change this? Can you tell me some happier times?
So my happier times, things that I'm... So we're talking younger or as in now?
Younger. Because we all go through stuff.
The shit times.
we do have good times. Is there anything that's like...
stuck in my head? That's beautiful. I'd just say, there's no... You know what, there wasn't... My younger days, it's all been quite... It's vague in my head, and this is why I say, I feel like I've built up a like... I've been able to block shit out, but happier days, I'd say, were the days where I'd come home and see my mum and dad and that, singing, and my mum singing to my dad. The happier days are, you know what I mean?
Well, you've told me about your mum and dad dancing like them old, kind of, with them old songs. You know what I mean? You show me some of the moves.
We used to be all doing two wires for my mum. My mum used to be on the mic now. It was beautiful. They're the days that I hold very close to my heart, yeah. Happier days for me personally now, because I had so much on my mind that I probably wanted to get off.
So when you become 12 and you lost your virginity, I don't want to know who it was to and things like that. What happened after that? Was you in a relationship, or was you a bit promiscuous?
Well, I was very promiscuous at a very young age, very. and I ended up getting into a relationship with someone at 15 who was a and life then. But this is what I'm saying. I think all the shit it's like I was trying to fit in. I don't know why, but you know, I got so, you know, 12, 13, I was really trying to fit in with people and be a part of something, and yeah, ended up finding this, and he was a man. He was a good 10 years older than me. Ended up getting with him, and
so you was with a 25-year-old when you was 15?
Yeah.
And I'm not pointing out because where he's from or anything, but a man with a 25-year-old with a 15-year-old,
it's not good, man.
It is wrong. I'm not going to ask you his name or going to ask you
we'll
about
leave
him.
names out.
I'm not going to ask you about him because where he's from or anything like that, but what is right and what is wrong is wrong. A 25-year-old with a 15-year-old, it's wrong. It's not done. Young boys, young girls, do not do it. It's not right.
No, it isn't.
People are getting involved with you and they're that much older than you, they're doing it for their own self-satisfaction and
self-gratification,
gratification, and people like that should be in jail.
100%. You see what, right? Because even
was that relationship, was it a good relationship?
No, that was horrible. Nah, man. That was my domestic abuse. I've never been through anything like that since, and I would never put myself into something like that since. Like, I remember.
So going back to the beginning, was it good when it started? Was you impressed by him? Because we get a lot of people that are impressed by.
And a lot of and with the youth work, and with the work that we're doing at the moment, you know, that you've introduced me to, I've been seeing it, haven't I? Like, you know, them young girls that will do anything, and I was that girl. I was that girl that would do anything. I was, you know, impressed by a little bit of gold, or a bit of a supercar. You know what I mean? Like, you was a bit of weed. You know what I mean? Them things sucked you in. But yeah. It weren't nothing great though. When I look back, that was very vicious. You know, I remember. Was
it love or was it lust?
It was definitely lust. Definitely lust. I didn't know about love. I only knew about people. I only knew about people wanting to fiddle with me or wanting something off me or wanting, you know what I mean? Wanting my fanny.
But.
In layman's terms.
It looks like this guy was just as bad as that because he 100%. Knew what he was doing. He was 25, like you said, you was 15. Do you know, so it was like this self-gratification as well. Got you up, line and sinkered where you so-called belonged to him.
Where I got myself a name.
So we know you got the name and we're not going to go into that. We might delve on that in another interview.
In another show.
Can you tell me about relationships after that, better ones? Have you had a better relationship?
I'd say.
Sorry, can I go back? Did you love yourself? Did you love yourself back then?
Obviously not.
Do you love yourself now?
Working on it. Yeah. No, definitely do.
Look at that smile.
Definitely working on it. Self-love is a big thing. And I'd say it's only been the last 3 to 4 years. I've been working on me and being secure with myself and loving myself and truly loving myself though. And it's going to be a forever working process, you know.
Now that you're old.
Now that I'm getting on.
All right, I just had to get that in. So go on then, can you tell me about better relationships? You mentioned you got a 12-year-old son. I'm fortunate enough because I know this young lad, this amazing young lad, and we have a bit of a bond, myself and him.
We have a good relationship, you two.
It's kind of like, it is a brilliant relationship.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
But can you tell me about, I don't want to know about, I don't know who the dad, do you know what I mean? Can you tell me, was this relationship better? Was it much longer after?
So my son's dad is a little bit younger than me. And I felt like at the time when I met him, that's what I need. I was sick of these old guys, because literally, like I said, it was different when I was younger, man. I remember I'd walk down Ayers Road, and the amount of, you'd be in your school uniform, and the amount of man driving past, hey, psst, girl, can I get your number? All of that, that's all I ever went through. So, you know, when I met my son's dad, he was a bit younger than me, which I appreciated. And we got on, but he, like I said, he was younger than me. He was still finding himself at the same time, but he gave me a beautiful son. Do you know what I mean?
So
but
a bit of girl toy boy kind of situation.
Kind of.
Now, all jokes aside, can you tell me when you first kind of like encountered any depression, mental health issues?
So
PTSD.
So 2005, I lost my mum. Rest in peace, mum. Rest in eternal peace. Carmen Bryan. So yeah, I lost her 2005. That was a major thing to me. My world broke down, man. Life just went fucked from there. It was horrible. I think that's when my mental health started kicking in, and I was even more vulnerable then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't care. I lost all self-care. I didn't care about myself or anyone else.
So you lost self-esteem, lost self-respect. You were suffering from grief, depression, mental health.
Lost it all.
And when did you find yourself after losing your mum? Or have you found yourself? Because I know myself what it's like. I was fortunate to have my mum in my life for a lot longer than you, and I'm sorry for that. I feel your pain, and you feel my pain, because you see what we go through. But when did you kind of like think, this is wrong for me to ask this question, because I don't think I'll ever got over the grief.
That's the question. You never will.
When do you think you were kind of like on a not over the grief, but on an even keel?
So like I said, about 3-4 years. And what am I? 36 now, 37 this year.
Getting on a bit, aren't you?
Says this one now. But yeah, literally, I'd say about 3-4 years. I'm learning to live with it, cope with it.
Moving on. Well, I'm from Moss Side, you're from Old Trafford. Throughout them areas, there's been a lot of gang activity, a lot of people getting shot, a lot of people getting stabbed, myself included. Yeah. We both know people that have been stabbed and shot. Would you ever, I know you've told me that people used to say you had allegiances to certain gangs. Was you ever involved in the gang situation? Was you ever made? I was put in situations,
yeah, of course. There's one that always sits in my mind, and I'll never forget it. I remember being out in a club in town, and you know the man are there, and one of them put something in my skirt. I didn't even have no coat. Give me £20 and told me to get in a taxi and go to the Blues. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
But is this a person that you knew personally, or just a person that you'd seen about? Was he an associate? It would definitely wasn't a friend, because friends don't do things like that. You know, bigger men giving girls guns and things like that is the wrong thing to do.
Obviously, I knew who the person was, but I didn't. He weren't my brethren, no.
I can't really comment on that, because I've been in certain situations, as we all know, that I have a gun conviction. So, and I did used to use females to mind things, but it's not about me today. But I had to point that out, because I don't want to be seen as a hypocrite. And I've spoke about it numerous times.
But hence why you're here doing this talk.
A lot of people's not going to like the questions that I'm asking you, and a lot of people don't like me.
A lot of people don't like me, mad, bad, or misunderstood. I don't mind.
But I say what I want. I don't answer to anybody. And I know you do. That's why I agreed to do this. Even though I didn't want to do this interview, I agreed to do it, because you're like me, you don't conform.
Nah.
So can you tell me about brighter days?
So I'll tell you about some stuff that I've been doing that is been good, and I have to be proud to give myself a tap on the back. You know, so I did a show, The Void, ITV. I've done a skydive, which was like, that was major for me. That was a big achievement. You tired?
I'm cold.
I'm cold. It's cold in here, but yeah, we move. And you know, a big achievement, the happier things at the moment, working with the kids, man, that is, it's so beautiful. Like, just the fact that, you know, we might be able to, like you said, just help one person change the mindset, change the life. You know what I mean? Change that paradigm.
There's loads of stuff that we've done together. If truth be known, we've been to Leicester, we've been to Manchester youth clubs, we've been to schools together.
Yeah.
And your input has been amazing so far.
Thank you.
Do you know, when I did meet you, I knew that we was going to do stuff together, and I knew that you would make a difference, because people are the younger you.
Exactly.
And you see yourself in them.
100%.
So can you just tell me about what's the longevity? What are we going to be doing together, or what do you want to do?
So bringing awareness to grooming. Sexual health, that's another big thing, you know. You know, for you it's the knife crime.
Do you think parents need to start speaking to the kids about grooming and sexual health and consent, the age of consent and stuff like that?
100% from young, you need to be making your children, you know, comfortable with being able to speak to you as a parent. Like, don't just write them off, you know. You say something that always sticks to me as well, like, people always remember you for your bad stuff and forget about the good things that you've done. You know, stop writing off your kids.
Yeah, we go into schools and we tell teachers as well as parents, I've done things, I've not committed crime for a long time, but when a kid smashes a window or done something wrong in school, they always harp on about it, and they always bring that up, but 99% of the time they do good, but they don't get praised for that. So, on a point to the parents that are watching this, or anyone watching that, think about the good they do. Let's stop punishing them for the things that they've done ages ago.
True talks.
See, can you tell me, have you ever self-harmed?
No, but I remember.
Have you ever thought about self-harming?
Yeah, I've not wanted to be here all the time, enough times.
Now, what's got you through? What's made you resilient enough to get you through?
Especially since my mum's gone, I can't let her down.
And I suppose your son's a big...
And he's a big factor, yeah, 100%, 100%. You're mad, I can't let Prez down, I can't. Now he is. Him and my mum, big factors, you know, and I owe my dad a lot.
You know I'm all about dynamics and that. Do you think everything happens for a reason, or do you think that's just a bullshit saying?
Nah, I agree with that saying. So
I believe everything that's happened to me has made me the person I am today. Do you believe everything that's happened to you, the good, the bad and the ugly?
Yeah, it's brought me to this place now.
And are you in a safe place now?
Yeah.
Do you feel safe?
Yeah. Feel confident, feel ready. Yeah. And
are you scared of, if something was to happen, are you scared of exposing it in order to make change and bring about safety for youngsters?
Darryl, hence why we're in it. Like, I'm letting it all loose today. So any shit, any fuckery, any bullshit, we're exposing it. Damn right. I'm not in it. You know, I've had to hold on to things and hold things deep within me for years, feeling ashamed and embarrassed, or, you know what I mean, like guilty. I ain't trying to live with guilt. Nah. So yeah, we're exposing people.
So where are we gonna go from here? What's the plans and names of Mad, Bad and Misunderstood?
So, you know, like, this is another thing as well. We're going to be having some crazy guests on here, but one thing just to
crazy. That's crazy in a good way. We have some people lined up.
We have some mad, bad or misunderstood people lined up.
I'm nothing to do with Mad, Bad and Misunderstood. I'm just here to support Candice and to host tonight. Mad, Bad and Misunderstood. It's her baby. It's her that's going to take it to the next level. I'm just going to make some intros and basically I just wanted you all just to get a brief, just a little insight on me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not out there. I'm not the biggest superstar. I'm just a normal girl from the ends. Do you know what I mean? But you know, I just wanted you to just get a bit of insight on my world and where I've come from. And I am badly misunderstood out here in my community. People don't get it. People think I act out of character just because I'm on one. Do you know what I mean? And if you only knew, and I know there's more people, there's more of you that have been through exactly the same thing as me. If not worse.
If not worse. So just own it. Like, let that ego go, let it go, let that hurt, that trauma, that pain, let it all go. And that's what we're here to do. And any of the guests that do come on here, you know, I want you to be the same. I want you to own it. Let's talk about it, and let's show people what they don't want to go through in it. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk the things.
Can I just go back a little bit? Can you tell me a bit about? Can I tell me a bit about your singing and your entertaining?
Oh, here we go.
Can you hold my hand, please?
Oh, no, because I'm cold in the
hand's freezing.
I know, what?
That's cold, isn't it?
Freezing. So my music. So yeah, you know, in 2023, you're going to be hearing a lot more of me. I'm going to be pushing myself, because that's another thing. It's like I've always waited on other people to give me that boost, that push. But I've had to find it somewhere in myself. So that's what we're doing this year. We're pushing my music. It's very conscious, you know. I'm not trying to portray something that is something I'm not passionate about. So you won't hear me talking about my batty's big and this, even though it's not. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about, you know, put it out there. I've danced. I've done the stripper thing. I'm not trying to promote that shit. I'm trying to promote healthy mind, strong will. You know what I mean? Be yourself. Being unique is key. Be you, man. That's yeah.
And we are going to do a song together, aren't we?
we are going to put something out there.
I need to email the guy back, you know. He did message me to say, you not get back to me, but I need to email the guy back. We are going to put something out together.
Definitely.
Because we're all about change and all about educating youngsters, letting them know that you can live in peace, because a lot of the thing that are trending is RIP.
Innit?
Let's get LIP trending.
Innit?
You know, let's stop saying free my G. Let's say
that.
Go to college, go to uni,
my
man, brothers.
Do something good.
And so, is there anything else you would like to talk about? Is there anything else you would like to enlighten us on? Because you are pretty funny at times.
Where are you trying to go with it?
Funny looking. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
It's not.
I just had to get that in. We had to get that in.
Is there anything else? You know,
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I see myself. So I've got so much work to do right about now. So much in all aspects of life. But I see myself in 5 years running some major, working with the kids, doing some mega stuff with them, just enlightening people, man, and raising awareness.
Do you like working with youngsters?
I love it. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing, man. They're beautiful.
I took you to a youth club last week where I'd been going to do work for a while, and you didn't realise what was going on there until you come. How did you find that? You'd not stop talking about it, so I know, but will you tell the audience?
No, do you know what? So yeah, like you're saying last week, and I was only supposed to be there for a minute. He left early, and I ended up
Not
staying.
there, I'm talking about the music one.
Oh, so let's rewind a bit.
The day before.
The day before. So I went to a youth club where it's like a music workshop, you know. So there's DJing, there's people recording. And it was a beautiful thing. I ended up standing up and reciting some of my lyrics, and they couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
What touched me about that is when you walked in there and it was all the youth workers and the people that was teaching music and rap was people you actually grew up with.
Yeah, that was so. And that's what I'm saying. It's just nice to come as a unit, as a community, doing something good. And yeah, like you said, I walked in.
A man said to you, what did he say to you about your mum?
Oh, gosh.
David Esdale, we need to mention you because you're one of the best youth workers that's ever been in Moss Side.
Definitely, and he goes from my younger days, you know, and he always looked out for me as best as he could. Do you know what I mean? Even when I was on my mad days. So yeah, David Esdale, you know, you're appreciated out here. We love you loads. But yeah, just see, even him, he said, you know, every time he sees me, I remind him of my mum. And, you know, them things are warming. And this is how we're supposed to be to each other. We're supposed to make people feel warm and nice and happy and not like shit, man.
There's too much hatred.
Too much, man.
Hate in this world, so we need to be spreading love, positivity and good energy.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to say? Anything else you would like to say? Or is there anything that I've missed out that you might want to make me talk about?
So,
but we do have plenty of time now, but we have plenty of time for other shows. Whereas,
no, do you know what? I think this has gone beautifully, and I think that I've got a lot out of what I wanted to say. Like I said, this show is basically for all them misunderstood people to be able to voice their voice and tell us their story. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I want to raise awareness on grooming. I want to raise awareness on sexual health and just be looking after your body and your mind and your spirit. Like, there are big things to me. I weren't ever taught about that. I had to learn it myself through trial and error. Do you know what I mean? And some people don't even learn. Some people just keep continuing going through life, repeating these cycles, and that is not what I'm on. I'm trying to you know, change a generation, the narrative and the generational curse, especially in my family as well. Hence why I'm talking about the fiddling that was going on when I was younger. It didn't lead me into nothing good. Do you know what I mean? I was fucked over from when I was young. So
can we get emotional? I'm not gonna say getting emotional. Can we just let people know that you can go through that and you can succeed in life?
Definitely. 100%.
Can I make a suggestion about the Mad, Bad and Misunderstood podcast?
Of course.
Can we put a scribble through the mad and the bad, but leave it and just have misunderstood, but see that it's mad and bad or misunderstood? Because a lot of the time you've been classed as being mad, I've been classed as being bad, and I believe we're both misunderstood. Definitely.
Go on. I appreciate you, Darryl. Thank you so much for doing this. You know, like, what? Because you just killed me there.
Sorry.
Why would you say no like that? How you don't know what I'm gonna say?
Go on, talk.
No, thank you.
Sorry, when you said you appreciate me so much, you're getting me emotional, so I didn't want you to go too deep.
Why?
Because I'm an emotional brother too.
You know, I reached out to you because obviously I seen what you did. You know, I seen what you was doing, and you know, it really struck out to me. And you know what? Since you've been in my life, you give me so much. You know, you make me feel, what's the word I'm looking for now? Confidence. You give me that confidence to be able to speak my word and not be asked about what anyone's going to say.
That's because I don't want nothing from you, whereas you've been led to believe that you have to give. I want you to have it all. I want you to gain yourself. I want you to gain understanding, and I want you to gain your own career and know that you are worthy, you are special.
And so are you, guys. So are you. No, I love it. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Let's continue this.
Not bad. Let's continue this misunderstood meaning.
Yeah.
And this journey
Yeah.
of enlightenment, and to enlighten others and to empower others to be themselves and to stop looking for kudos on the streets.
Validation from the streets.
Validation, kudos, reputation.
Yeah. Means fuck all. Your mental health is the main priority.
And if you do suffer from mental health, I'm sure we can get something put up there about mental health.
Definitely.
Like numbers of people to get a phone. Can you tell me your handle on Instagram and your socials? What is it? What's your name on?
So you can add the Instagram. So it's MadBadMisunderstood podcast. Manchester, that's Instagram. You can also subscribe, like,
share, repost,
YouTube, same again, MadBadMisunderstood podcast. Yeah, like and follow, please.
Well, could I just ask you this? If somebody reaches out for you, because I know that being a MadBadMisunderstood page where you don't follow much people, can I just ask you, will you make sure that you check all the DMs in case anyone is reaching out, and will you get back to everybody?
Yeah, man, I appreciate. I look forward to all the DMs. I look forward to anybody reaching out. 100% get back to people. Definitely. You know, any recommendations, anyone that you want to see me interview, you know, let us put it out there. I'd appreciate all that feedback, definitely, yeah.
Or if there's any games or forfeits what you might want her to show the people that she introduces, and have a little bit of a lighter note on the stuff. Man. If you send a message, I'm sure Candy Rain will get back to you.
Definitely, yeah.
Anything else? Final words?
Love the life you live.
And live the life you love.
Hey, you get me? Yeah, that's it.
Can I say thanks to the cameraman? Thanks to Naya Moss.
Thank you, Naya.
Can you go to Naya Moss, www.nayamoss.co.uk or .com, and if you can, leave a comment or make a donation, because this amazing building, you know, the bulldozer kind of people,
they're dying to take it away from me.
Things like that want to take it away and just put properties on this. And I believe this is a much needed community space where we can all use this together, no matter where you're from, Moss Side, Old Trafford, Hume.
Anywhere.
There's no boundaries.
There's
no boundaries in community. There's no boundaries in community. You can all go where you want, do what you want.
Yes.
And stop listening to the elder people, because that's when you find hate against other people. Whereas we're all from the same kind of like background, so we all like the same things.
Definitely.
So don't listen to other people and don't pledge your allegiance to nobody.
No one. Allow the knives. Allow the knives.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say no to knife crime. As you can see, knife crime seriously impacts lifetime. Facts.
Mad.
Bad.
Misunderstood.
Thanks.
It's a wrap. So captivate your mind, captivate your mind. So captivate your mind, captivate your mind. So captivate your mind, let the soul come alive. Let you capture in moments, 'cause they mean a lot to me.